In this video, we will learn how to pronounce the Spanish sounds P, T, and K. In Spanish, the P sound is only written with the letter P, and the T sound is only written with the letter T. However, there are three possible ways of representing the K sound. Two of them are extremely common, and the third is exceedingly rare. The first is the hard C, that is to say, the letter C followed by A, O, or U. Cara, como, cuna. The second is the QU combination. In Spanish, the Q and U together make the K sound, and the U is silent. Que, quince, quiero. And the third is with the letter K itself. Now, as it turns out, the letter K is extremely rare in Spanish. It's used exclusively with words borrowed from other languages, mostly proper nouns such as names of people and places. So although I use the letter K between brackets to represent the K sound, just understand that I'm mostly talking about the sound produced by the hard C and the QU. With that introduction, let's get started. I've put P, T, and K together in one lesson because they follow the same pattern. The same principle applies to all three. Gratefully, this principle is quite simple, and although we're talking about three sounds, this lesson should be short and sweet. Here is the principle you need to remember. In Spanish, P, T, and K are pronounced without the puff of air that we use when pronouncing them in English. There's a little more we can say about the letter T, but this one principle is 95% of what you need to know for P, T, and K. Let's look at each letter individually. In English, we pronounce the letter P by bringing our lips together, cutting off the airflow, building up a bit of pressure, and then releasing it in a small puff of air. P, p, p. In Spanish, the lips are also brought together, and the airflow is cut off, but pressure is not built up, and when the letter is pronounced, there is no puff of air. Let's look at some example words. Observe that the English P is tense and is accompanied by a puff of air, while the Spanish P is more relaxed and is not accompanied by a puff of air. Papel, papel. Pánico, pánico. Capaz, capaz. Aparente, aparente. It's said that if you hold a feather in front of your mouth while you say the English P, you can see the feather dance around with the escaping air. But if you hold a feather in front of your mouth while you say the Spanish P, you won't see it move any more than with any other letter. The English D and T are both alveolar, that is to say, they are pronounced by bringing the tongue to the gummy ridge above the upper teeth. D, d, t, t. In Spanish, both the D and T are dental, meaning that the tongue touches the back of the upper teeth. D, d, t, t. So in addition to being pronounced without a puff of air, the Spanish T is also pronounced in a slightly different location in the mouth than the English T. Let's look at some example words. Talento, talento. Te, entero, entero. Material, material. Spanish speakers sometimes say that the English T sounds more like a CH to their ear. So not only does it contribute to a foreign-sounding accent, but it may even cause problems in understanding. The Spanish K, or hard C and QU, is pronounced in the same part of the mouth as the English K, using the same organs. Really, the only difference is that the Spanish version lacks the puff of air heard in the English version. Cambio, cambio. Como, como. Aquí, aquí. Ataque, ataque. This is the conclusion of the lesson on P, T, and K. There's actually a bit more that could be said on the topic of the letter T and how it's pronounced in combination with other letters. But since this is an introductory lesson, we'll stop here for now.